Okay. Make sure everything's working. It popped up on Twitch. Okay, let me check to see if I can hear myself. It popped up on Twitch. Okay. Okay, I can in fact hear myself. Okay. Alright. Get this show on the road. Okay. Welcome all. Now, how do I want to start this? Now let's just get into it. This is day one of trying to beat...
Look, Gamma.
day one of trying to beat Wizard101.
Oh, a young
Gonna
answer these questions.
skip past all of that.
Find out what type of wizard you are.
Skip the test. I'm going to be selecting Storm.
But now that we know what you are, what do you look like?
I guess I can explain a little bit. My goal is going to be to try to beat Wizard101, an MMO that you have to pay for to get anywhere past, like, 10 missions in. This game is actually quite long and gets pretty difficult after a certain point, but I've always wanted to beat this game, so we're just going to see how it goes. Let's... Let's see. Who will be our perfect wizard? This... nah. Alright, this person. This guy looks like a good base.
Remember, if you ever wish to alter your appearance in the future,
All right then.
Ooh.
What is your name?
Well, my name is DVI. That's definitely not going to be an option here. So let's try and... Let's try and make an anagram. We'll do... Duncan. Alright, let's see if there's anything with a V. Oh, I don't think there was. Yeah, there's not. Alright, well, what's close to V? W? Alright. Off to a great start already. All right, now something with an I. There's nothing with an I. Yeah, there's nothing with an I. L's close to an I. Well, that backfired pretty quick. Alright, well... Let's just... We'll do random, I guess. Alright, gotta get something at least good. Come on. Work with me here, random. Jeremy Hexpants. The long-forgotten, SpongeBob character. We'll go with Jeremy Hexpants. Because I think that's funny. There's my main character, who I will not be using. Because I haven't played on that in quite a while.
Well, hello. If it isn't our newest...
I'm just gonna go ahead and skip the tutorial. Sorry for anyone that was looking for a playthrough, or for a full walkthrough of this game. That ain't happening. The tutorial is long and kind of boring. Especially if you played it as many times as I have. Alright. I figure I'll go on for about an hour and
Welcome
to each day, so
Academy, young wizard.
welcome to anyone who joins along the way.
This is where you'll be enrolled and sent to your classes. But times are not splendid.
I'm also going to be skipping most of the story.
Seek out Private Connolly, the wizard.
Welcome to
If that bothers you, oh well.
Wizard,
You'll get over it.
See the symbol above Private Connolly's hair? That means he has something in.
What's that? It's used to guard.
Feels good to play this game again. Game is a certified childhood classic. Try not to get into a battle with someone else that just takes way too long. Okay. Yes, the horrid starter deck. Storm gets some pretty decent, low-level spells. Do fairly decent damage, but they have pretty bad, accuracy compared to most other schools. But it should make quick work of the early game. Alright. Now, for anyone who hasn't played this game and is curious, the blue cards are a part of your wand deck, and the purple cards are a part of your main deck. Now, if you'll notice, the purple cards actually do slightly more damage. Sometimes I believe their accuracy is also different, but in this case it's not. And the Storm School starter card, the Thunder Snake, I believe it's called, it only has an accuracy of 70, which is pretty unfortunate. I believe most starter decks have a accuracy of about 85. I think even some are up to 90. Yeah. But it's not the end of the world. This early on in the game, you're really not going to die. Well, I guess you can die, but I've played this game enough to really it not be an issue. We also picked up a novice hat. Now, certain items will actually give you buffs to your mana or your health or other stuff down the line. If you unequip, it'll just give you back your normal basic clothes. You can't. I don't believe you cannot. Well, just not have a hat or any other equipment. It just gives you whatever you started out the game with. Kind of unfortunate that you can't change the color of anything. You can later through shop, I believe, through a paid currency. But I won't be doing that. I'll probably just end up looking ridiculous for a while. Maybe down the line I'll decide, but at the moment we're going to be getting a lot of equipment and changing a lot of equipment really quickly.
Oh, hey there, I'm Sarah. I couldn't... Because... Congratulations! If not every title is as easy to gain as the...
I'm glad I...
Then there's a bunch of main quests and side quests. You can honestly get stuck on any lane for quite a while. Like, it denotes the main quest by these stars up here, and anything that's not is a side quest. Right now, both our main quest and side quest are the same, and which is pretty handy for early game XP. Not that it's really crucial. This game is pretty easy, especially in the early game. It won't be until much later where I even start to struggle. Being a solo player in the late game can be quite difficult, but if you know what you're doing and you built a deck for it, it's not too bad. Alright. Time to fight the next enemy on this lane, the Skeletal Pirate. Now, if you'll notice, each spell card has a range. It's got a range of about 150, I think 105 to 145. And now the Skeletal Pirate only has health of 80, so that means no matter how much damage we do with this spell, it's going to one-shot. It's been a while since I played this game too. It looks like they got looks like they changed how they look. Looks like they got a bit of rework. I think a lot of this stuff looks a bit different. Kind of interesting. Game this old, still getting a fresh coat of paint. Alright, so, like I said, well, like I was saying, they have health of 80, so, for example, the Blood Bat might kill or it might not. Whereas the Dark Spirit probably won't kill, because even though it has 95, since it is a death enemy, it will most likely have resistances.
Parley, parley! Ye got guts, little wizard. More than us to be sure, but ye be no match for that.
Now, every time you take damage, you just, once you're done, the sidewalks are a safe area where you almost never get attacked. Sometimes the game doesn't abide by its own rules, and you can, but for the most part, the sidewalks are safe, and these red pips, as I believe they're called, they give you back health, and the blue ones give you back mana. This early on in the game, you don't use a whole lot of mana. It doesn't actually take it to cast cards. It's used for other things. And we were given a ring. Equip that for a bit more health. Other way.
Oh wow! There is a power.
Now we're just given a different hat. This is what I was talking about some of the different effects. Now this one gives a +2. Oh. So this one gives a +2 resistance to storm, while this one just gives a +7 to health. I would say, honestly, the health is much better this early on in the game. But if you're having a bit of trouble against a specific enemy type that's dealing that damage, you may want to try upping your resistance rather than your health. Especially if they have higher level cards. I usually just stick with the health and mana. That can pretty much carry you through most of the game. There's the third and final enemy for this route, the Dark Fairy. If you'll notice, we actually have a card of the Dark Fairy, but this is called the Dark Sprite. Pretty much most enemies, or most cards in the games are also enemies. Their names might be slightly different, but...
Halt! What purpose brings... Forgive me, young wizard. These dark times make me leery of new faces. The evil forces that...
Alright. Now, there are several types of quests, but... Well, honestly, there aren't that many types of quests. There's your standard go talk to somebody, your standard go kill enemies on a route. Then sometimes there are go kill enemies and try to get an item. Then there are quests like this, where you purely just have to come up to something on the route, open it, or interact with it, and it'll release something. Or you'll get something. Then there are these things. Now, this will be important a bit later. It's a part of a quest line I'm probably not going to finish, because they're kind of annoying. But it's essentially like, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, here. Let me take care of this Dark Fairy. 115, higher health than anything else on the route. So this is going to be the first enemy that's actually going to take 2 turns to use. If you'll notice, I actually had no cards on my own, from my own deck. That is one of the benefits and one of the side effects like one of the pros and cons of using a wand that gives you cards. That it can help diversify up your deck, but sometimes you might not get cards that you are strong with. For example, had I gotten my Thunderstake, he could have killed it turn 1. But also, to show you the resistance that I'm talking about, because this is a life enemy, a life spell card should do less damage to it overall. Unless resistances are not quite a thing this early on in the game. Oh, maybe not. Okay. I guess it seems that they have not quite introduced resistances yet. But later on in the game, certain enemies will resist certain spell types. Okay. Let's not do that one. I don't want to get caught up in that other person's battle. You can join anyone's battle. Like if I wanted to, I could just go up and join with that person. Like this person just, well, it's almost like that was planned. So what happens in a case like this is a second enemy will come up and join the fight normally. For whatever reason, that didn't happen. Ooh, a gold wisp. Gold wisp is actually a rare find. That it just gives you a little bit of gold. They're not super great because it doesn't give that much gold, but it's a neat little thing that you don't get too often. But generally, if I were to join this person's battle, another fairy would actually join itself. And sometimes if they join late, it'll take an extra turn for them to come in, and it just makes the battles take way longer. And sometimes it can be helpful, sometimes it can just be really annoying. Alright.
You hear a tiny, joyful voice call your name.
Thank you for helping us, kind wizard. Your courage and benevolence will not soon be forgotten by the fairies.
You've submitted. Is that?
Ah, cool. Right. And you're given a mount. This is only a temporary mount, unfortunately, so... But... it's better than nothing. Same with these boots. Give some storm resistance. Now this maze is actually worth exploring a little bit, because, most of the time there are... Let's see if I can find one. There are goodies. Ah, there's one. You can kind of see the name popping over it. They're a chest. More often than not, they're just gold. I actually don't know if anything that's not gold... Like, I don't know if they ever actually spawn anything that isn't gold. But this early on in the game, you'd take all the money you can get. Because you're going to want to buy better decks and better clothing and just better everything once you get the opportunity. It's not super important, but it helps to get an early start. Let's say I'm pretty happy to be playing this again. This has always been a feel-good game of mine. I've never actually played with the Storm deck. Ah, as you can see, chests can actually spawn outside in the world, too. I feel like they updated the music, too. Hope none of this is copyrighted. I'm gonna get copyright stricken. Well, I guess I'll find out. I haven't been taken down yet. But, to be fair, nobody is watching. But that's okay. I don't need other people to watch. I got me, myself, and I. And all of you. Who are you might ask? The voice is in my head, obviously. Anyways. Yeah, this is mainly a lot of the times what the game boils down to is running down to one end of the lane, doing a task, then running all the way back. Now, there's actually a quick way to do this. Is you can mark the location in right here, and then you can actually teleport back to it later. Once we're done with this objective, I will show that off. But you can also teleport back to your house. That's something I'll show off later, and to the commons area. The commons is where the headmaster is, the old man that we talked to earlier. And we have to come find Rattlebones. Now, Rattlebones is our first boss.
This could be the tome Bannister seeks. Now
Now, a boss battle this early on in the game actually can be pretty devastating to new players.
Let's play.
My go-to strategy is always to take out the weak minion first. That way you're minimizing how much damage you're taking each turn. Unfortunately, I got a low roll there, so I didn't kill it in one hit. Okay, so what he just cast was a debuff, which makes me take, I believe, 30% more. Let me check. Not saying. I believe it makes me take 30% more damage, though, to death spells, which is what he'll primarily cast. Alright, one down, one to go. Okay, so right there's the first fizzle. Glad it wasn't me, but so when a fizzle happens, each card you cast requires pips. So a low level spell like this only takes 1 pip, but oh wow, I got a high roll there.
The day is
But
yours, young.
In his haste to leave, Rattlebones dropped.
no, I cannot.
the phone he was holding. It could
Okay,
be
okay, so here's another thing.
done
Some
with it.
equipment can only be equipped by certain schools. This one can only be equipped by death, so we cannot wear it because we're Storm. But like I was saying about spell cards, certain cards will cost pips. This one only requires 1. I believe everything I have only requires 1. Yeah. If your spell fizzles, it actually doesn't use a pip, so you'll start the next turn with 2. You could also pass your turn to get another one.
As you
And
walk
there's
back onto Unicorn
there's also
Road,
a
you can't help but notice that the dark magic that was previously choking the
alright, so here's the teleport. Right back here. And now that is gone, so you have to put another mark. That's what you'll primarily use your mana for.
You did it, didn't you? The
But what was I saying? Pips, right. Ooh, okay, so I'll explain that in a second. So higher level spells will take pips. And sometimes you'll get what's known as a power pip. It's a very small chance you can get equipment that'll actually increase your odds, but that'll take, I believe it acts as 2 pips for your school specifically. I don't think you can use it on a, like, for example, I'm Storm, so I could use it on a Storm card, but I don't think I can use it on a Fire card. Yeah. So we don't actually have any 2-pip cards, so yeah. Alright.
I said Private Orion's a good friend of mine. Could you go see if he's alright?
Alright, so,
He
let's
hides in
see.
one of their houses.
Alright, so we have to head back to Wizard City. Alright, now, so I got kind of excited about this because this makes it to where we have a +2. We have a +2 to storm damage as opposed to a resistance. Now, since our primary mode of attack is storm damage, this is actually a big help. So, I did not mean to close out of that. I will be equipping that. So now any storm spell we have has a immediate bonus to it. That is something we will do later. Oh, here, I can go to the commons. There's a 30-second cooldown on this every time you use it, so you can't just spam it. But this will take you to right back here. Here's the headmaster's building. We'll come and go from here a lot. But we have to head to the library, which is down here. We have to talk to the library, well, I guess the librarian. I was gonna say curator, but that's more of a museum thing. Also, while you are in safe places like Wizard City, you will get a passive health regeneration. Okay, you can also not ride your mount in buildings. Once you leave, it'll automatically re-equip it, but...
Well, hello there. You said...
Now, he'll teach you about treasure cards, but I'm not gonna let him teach you about treasure cards. I'll teach you about treasure cards. So, I'll teach you about treasure cards when they actually come into use. Well, I'll teach you more about them, but essentially they're one-time use cards. Once you use it, it's gone, and it's a special. Well, there's a special way you have to use them. Okay, so right through here is the shopping district. We can't actually go here yet, but we want to unlock that as soon as possible so we can have access to buying better equipment and decks and stuff. I believe we're just about to unlock it.
Potion flask. Oh, and most importantly, make sure they are
Okay,
completely full with a top on
alright.
them. Or you
We were
can't
also...
use them when you need them.
Alright, it's open now. So I'm gonna go there before doing anything else. But we were given a potion flask, like I rudely interrupted him. This will fully restore both your mana and your health. I'll show you where to re-up that later. But for now, I want to come here and see if I can afford a new deck. So, alright, so 16 spells, 3 copies, and 6 sideboard. I believe the sideboard is for your treasure cards. I don't remember exactly. There's also no music in the shop for some reason. Okay. I don't have enough money to buy that, plus you have to be level 10. Okay, well. Alright, so we'll come back here later then. What we really want is more cards. Because at the moment, our current only card is we have 3 copies of the Thunder Snake. And, oh, okay, no, we were also given a Lightning Strike. This will cause anyone you put it on to have a 25% bonus to accuracy. That's what this little symbol means. So if I put it on an enemy and I use Thunder Snake, instead of having a 70% accuracy, it'll have a 95. So it can be helpful for super low accuracy moves, but for the most part, probably won't use it. Actually, I think I'll remove that from the deck. I recommend keeping your deck as low as possible, not filling it with random stuff. Like, if you don't want a card, remove it, because that'll just decrease the odds of you actually getting a card you want. You can also come through and select cards out of your deck, or out of your wand deck. I'm going to keep them all in for now, because we really only have 3 Thunder Snakes. Yeah, so... So, this is just kind of introducing you to a lot of people. And you're supposed to come and talk to your professor. You gotta go talk to all the other professors. Now, so here's gonna be our main method of getting cards for our... Ooh, it looks like they added a lot more cards. That's actually really cool, because I don't think there was 2 pages back last time I did this. But... so, all the cards for your specific school are free. You get training points, and I'll show you what that is for in a second. So, you have to be a certain level before the next card is active. So, we can get Lightning Bats, which is actually a really good spell early on. It is a 2-pip spell, so we need 2 points, or we need 2 pips, but it does a ton of damage. Storm is great for getting a lot of damage in early on.
You've met your professor.
Alright, now he wants us to go back and talk to the professor, but I actually want to go and explain a bit more about the... Actually, I feel like there's a... I can't remember, but I think there's a quest to come talk to everyone, so I might not be able to do this yet. But, so I'm actually going to sideload death points. So we have 2 points. We got another point for completing that quest. So at level 1 you can get Death Sprite, which I'm probably not going to use too much, but this one, Death Ghoul, or well, just Ghoul, this is a very powerful spell. So what this does is, it does 160 damage flat, so you can always rely on it to do exactly that much. It's a 2-pip spell, but it also gives you back half of the damage that it dealt. So if you do 60 damage, you'll get 80 health back. If you use a spell to make it do more damage, then say it does 200 damage, you'll get 100 health back. So that's really good, especially for a solo player like myself. Maybe some point I'll see if I can get some other person to join, but... Alright. So I'm actually going to remove those. And remove that. You know what? Also, if you notice, 65 to 95, I'm going to remove Thunder Snake as well. 65 to 105, so it does a lot more damage and has a lot tighter range. I really don't recommend a deck like this, or using wands like this, but when your card range is limited, you might as well. Okay.
You're officially enrolled now? Let me also...
Oh, and he gave us a new spell.
Come to me. I am just outside the door.
Oh, wow! Oh, follow me up.
Oh, this is new. I just got a lot of stuff. So that horseman, and who I didn't listen to at all. That was the character I looked at earlier and said that we will talk that later. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, that's interesting. I think you could follow her to get a tour or something, but we're not gonna do that. I'm the tour guide. I know where pretty much most things are, especially in the early game. Alright.
Beware. Beyond these gates, we've got...
Alright. Go to pet.
You now have a pet egg in your inventory. Once it hatches, you can equip the pet just as you would a wand and bring it into the tower.
You have justice badge. Some badges will lead you to defeat a certain...
You just received. Once it hatches, you can equip it just as you would any other pet.
Oh, cool. This is definitely something new. So we have a pet. I guess it's not showing. It's not showing because of the mount, probably, but yeah, looks like this is looks like they added some to the main quest.
I'm lost! I can't believe you other wizard!
You shouldn't have like mine.
Oh.
If you have a pet equipped,
Okay, cool.
it can help you in battle.
Yeah, so yeah, this is interesting. I don't remember this. I could just be blanking, but okay, so alright, there's that resist I was talking about. He's a thunder enemy, so he actually resisted our spell. He fizzled, so we don't have to worry about him. So I don't think our pet... I think our pet has to be above a baby or something, but you can actually use your pet in battle. It's essentially just a free attack plus your normal attack, which can be super helpful, especially in the later game. But for now, I guess it's just gonna sit there.
I know.
What? That's huh? Oh, I'm petting you.
You are are now commanding your pet, allowing you to get to places and see things wizards can't. Use this ability to enter the next room.
Okay. I don't remember this. Maybe my memory's just hazy, but I don't think this is something that this used to be a part of the game. That's pretty cool, though. I wonder how often this will be used. Not very fast. This is also getting a little annoying. I feel like I need to, like, pause and wait for it to, get done.
Now that your pet has...
Great! Now let's go save all those poor pets!
Remember this character, because we'll be seeing a lot of Penny Dreadful. Oh, and back to the pets.
Yep, I saw that smelly guy put in the combo lots of times. It's 000003.
Oh. The arrow's not the greatest sometimes. Alright. How long have we been going already? Wow, 36 minutes already. I'll probably go for about an hour. Probably should set a timer or something, but eh. What the? That's definitely new. Okay. So, I believe these are all main quests. Yeah. We can actually only do one of these. Those right there are some snacks for your pet.
You've just received a pet snack. You can feed pet snacks to your pet after it completes a training game.
Yeah, like he said. Okay, so I believe we can only do Triton Avenue. You actually have to pay to get into the other two. Which I'll end up having to do at some point, but I'm kind of avoiding it for now. Okay, I kind of got sidetracked, so I didn't get to explain this card. So, this is pretty simple. It just heals yourself for 400. Healing cards like this are pretty vital later in the game if you're just playing by yourself, because you'll be taking a lot of damage. You could be fighting 2, 3, even 4 enemies at a time. So, crowd control and healing are pretty vital. Okay. Now, is it Triton Avenue we can enter? Yes, it is.
Look there, wizard. Do you see that device? It's a teleporter. If you
Oh.
it will transport you to
Oh,
other
that's so much handier.
get where you're going quickly.
Oh, that's so nice. Alright.
I'm lucky you came along.
Okay. Now, this area is going to be filled with a lot of electric enemies. These are balanced, so it's fine, but... Oh, okay, here we go. So I can show you. So, my cat will attack, which will actually cost 5 of this down here. But then I can also attack myself. If I don't kill it in one shot, okay, so it's not dead. So now, my cat goes. Alright. Yeah, having a pet is super useful. Oh, okay, no. I think what it does is, it uses this, or like ranks, it uses their happiness. And you can increase their happiness by just giving them a snack. There. Alright. Got to defeat 2 more. Some of the information I give will be lies. It's not intentional. I'm remembering along with teaching. But for the most part, I know what I'm talking about. Like, for example, the amount of damage dealt to an enemy is actually dependent on the animation that plays. Certain animations will actually signify whether or not it's doing different damage. Also, I believe these electric eels are new. I don't remember this enemy. I feel like in this area, or they just look very different or something. So I believe in this area it was just haunted minions before. Okay, one more. We actually might have to turn this back into him, so closer you stay, the better. Oh, okay, so your enemies can also pass if they don't... Oh, there's our first fizzle. But your enemies can also pass if they don't have anything, I guess. I don't know the actual statistics behind it. Maybe they're waiting for a stronger spell. But... So, let's see. Now I have 2 pips, so I can actually show you the ghoul now, a 2-pip spell. And there is also a, if you saw, there's a cooldown on your pet. You can only cast it once every 3 turns, I believe. So, does 160 damage. Heals us for 80. Sturdy coat. Gives +1 to life. Defense. Doesn't look too sturdy. Okay. So we don't have to go back to that other guy, so...
Thanks for the help, Wizard. I wouldn't have got... I'm worried... Really? How...
You're right. Wizard, bring me that wand, and I think I can get to the bottom of this.
Now with each, I believe... It might not be with every quest, but our pet also gains experience. And I don't know if that actually does anything for us in combat, but it will in the games they can play. Okay, so this is a storm enemy. So it's most likely going to resist. So it'd probably actually be better to attack it with our blood bat here. Or we could not attack it at all. I don't have all the resistances and weaknesses memorized, but I believe... Yeah, okay. So I was right. Myth, as this is called, the blood bat was myth, and it actually does extra damage towards them. But seeing as we have a spell that will always do 116, he only has 106 health, we'll just cast that and be done with it. Ah, Banshee, welcome. I hope I said that name right. Okay. Alright. Alright, now where was I? Oh, right, resistances.
They were wearing strange amulets that were crackling with storm energy.
So
those amulets and I can cast my spell.
If there is a way to tell, I'm not quite sure, but each school has its own resistances and strengths. I believe every school resists itself, while I think it's only one or they only have one strength each. So I believe death is strong against life, life is strong against death. I think storm and balance are strong against each other. Or no, storm and myth. Being told I got something right. I believe You have to be a bit more specific. I'm spewing a lot of word vomit here. But, yeah. So... Rotting Fire is actually a rank 2, so... Don't want to attack this with any storm spells. But... As a base wizard, we actually don't have any resistances or strengths. All that is handled through the equipment. I don't think there's any... There might be equipment in the future that... Oh! Brandshoe, okay, I got your name right. Sorry. But anyways, I don't believe there is any equipment that will make you take more damage. I believe that will only come from spells. And I only have thunder spells, so we're just gonna have to deal with the less damage. But he's low enough now that this should kill. Yep. One down, 2 to go. So the transparency actually allows you to obviously not get into any battles. It's good help if you got your butt kicked, but for the most part, it can be kind of annoying if you're doing alright, because you gotta wait the few seconds. Alright, now here should be a good example of one of the strengths. Yep, see, okay, it's called a boost. So, just does a bit of extra damage. It's not a... It doesn't make a huge difference. I believe it's only a difference of like 5, but it can be enough to put it over the edge. But it's still gonna have to take 2 turns, unfortunately. Ooh. That's a rank 2. Quite a lot of damage. Actually taking quite a bit. Oh, a fizzle is not great. But there's nothing really that you can do. I can use a +2 spell on my own. Kind of a waste, but be good to show off some stronger spells to kind of show why it's worth to save your pips. Show why passing a turn might be actually beneficial. So, that even though it was resisted, it still did more damage than he even has health. Now, if you can see, I'm actually quite hurt. So, it's a good idea to stick close to the sidewalk for a while and gather up some red pips to get your health back. Or you could use your flask here and get a full heal.
You've just collected a reagent. Reagents go in your reagent bag, which you can access by selecting the crafting tab in your spell.
Let him talk for a minute.
Or by pressing J on your keyboard.
Crafting is something more I will talk about in the future, when it actually becomes relevant, which won't be for a little while now. Alright. So... Firecat is our strongest, so hit it with my pet, and that. I don't think we'll be able to take it on one turn, unfortunately. No. That's okay. Once we get some better spells, it'll make the early game much easier. But for now, I'm just gonna have to slog. Alright. Use Imp just to make sure it doesn't fizzle. Watch it. Of course. 90 accuracy and still fizzles. Story of my life. Alright, for 85 accuracy. Usually recommend just using all the snacks you get right away, because you don't get a ton and not all of them are the greatest, so you can run out pretty quick, run out of energy, and it's good to keep your pet's happiness up. I think the flask may actually do the happiness as well, but don't quote me on that. Suppose I could find out, but no sense in wasting it. It does cost a decent bit to re-up it, and I don't feel like grinding money at this early on. There is a decent way to grind money, and I'll show that off a bit later, but for now, I'm just gonna go through the main story.
Nothing. They make loot.
Because progress will come to a grinding halt here shortly. So, probably just gonna fly by most of what we can for now, especially since this is the storm area and we chose the storm school. Alright. This is another one of the main quests. Similar to the one where you earlier where we had to go and open the cages. It's just run around and interact with the things on the route or the lane, whatever you want to call these. Pretty simple. I probably should have put down a marker to get back faster, but not too bad. Oh, actually, we have to go fight the next enemy on this, or I believe this is actually the final enemy. I think most routes only have 3 enemies to them, and this is the Scarlet Screamer. Now, this enemy is actually a myth, which means all of our main attacks are actually going to do boosted damage. Finally get to see it. This is what happens when another person joins. If you're already in the midst of a fight, they have to wait till the next turn, and a second enemy will actually come in to fight with them, which can just make the fights go on for a bit longer. It can be annoying, but it could also be helpful. It just kind of depends. Ooh, got a bonus. I believe that means a pip will spawn after. A golden pip will spawn after, or not pip. Oh, I've been calling them pips this entire time. The red and blue things are called wisp, I believe, actually. Whoops. But not that important. But the wisp, it'll spawn a golden wisp, will just give us probably like 15 gold. Not too important this early on, but every little bit helps. Alright. 235 health. I believe this is actually the most we've seen of any enemy we've fought so far, even more than Rattlebones. Oh, and here comes a third person. So now another Screamer will show up to join the fight. Interestingly enough, this person has 900 health, so they're quite far. Well, they're quite strong to be on this route. Oh, bonus 2. Okay, attack that with that, and attack that with that. So you can also divide up, and you can attack whichever enemy you want. Sometimes it can be good to divide up your power as well, having doing a lot of damage to one enemy while having your pet attack something else. I was expecting to kill there, and unfortunately I didn't. But hopefully this person will... Let's see what they go for. Leprechaun. Ooh. That's a 2-pip life spell. Weird choice to use it on the enemy that was almost dead already, but... And hopefully that should be it. Nope. Close, but not quite. Oh, well, that's it now. Fizzle will allow us to take it out. Pretty much any spell. I'm going to use the spell that has 90% accuracy, but so far has been one of my only spells to miss. And that's all she wrote. Ah, yep, 2 golden wisps. Now, that is one benefit to having some other people join, is that we had to kill 3, 2 people joined, so we fought 3 of them. And it did make the process go by faster. Sometimes it can make it go by slower because you have to do all the waiting, and sometimes people take forever to choose a card that they want to use. Do I have pie? No, I do not have pie. I don't know if that's a reference, or if you're actually asking if I have a real pie, but no, I do not, unfortunately.
Splendid. Now, put those cogs to good use and get the
Ooh.
oatmeal cooked.
I'd only been planning on streaming for about an hour, and it's been 55 minutes. But I'm having fun, and we're honestly almost done with the main story for Triton Avenue. It's pretty short, so I can go for a bit longer.
Well done, Wizard. Thanks to you, I'm back in. Here you are.
Not like I got anything else to do.
Fully charged loop.
It's time for an assignment. Please come pick it up at the school.
Ooh. Okay, that's something we'll undo later. It's always worth making a beeline for stuff for your school, because it can get you main cards for your main school.
Aluminum crystal. This loop.
Moving on. Actually, I'm going to set a marker down here. There are teleporters somewhere. Ooh, I would like to fight the Kraken today, but I don't think that's going to happen. There it is. Okay. So, this is something new they added, which is kind of awesome. So, instead of running all the way to the end, you can just... right here. Alright, so this is a dungeon to fight a boss. Oh, I'm sorry.
Another soul. Wait.
There's no need to cry. So a dungeon like this, you can actually... 4 people join you. I believe it might make more minions spawn. But... once again, don't quote me on that. Our best course, even though it's resisted, is still gonna be Thunder Snake. But like I said before, my best go-to is to try and take out the minion first. And fizzle. 70% accuracy. But I want to try to take out the minion first, so they have the least amount of health, and it'll help minimize the amount of damage you take. Alright. 108. Alright. Killed the ghoul with the ghoul. Or, I guess the card's called ghoul, the enemy's called rotting fodder. Oh, okay, I did take boosted damage. Maybe my armor makes me take boosted damage towards that. Or I also wasn't paying too much attention, so I might have been debuffed. But this will give me health back, so it's fine. Alright. So he's a fire, so... I think balance, for science we'll say balance, does boosted damage towards fire. If it doesn't, maybe ice does. There is no water in the game, so... Okay, so it might be ice. But... So we'll just beat him down with our strongest spells, which are Thunder Snake. Strong spells technically are, what was it called? Bat Swarm? I'm already forgetting the names. But that requires 2 pips, and that would just be more waiting. It'll probably honestly take the same amount of time if I just use one level spells, or level 1 spells. lightning bats is what it's called. Actually, you know what? Just since I haven't done it, I will pass just to kind of show you what it does. It's okay. All right, so that means that he does take boosted damage from ice spells. So we'll hit him with a lightning bat. I am getting a little low on health, so if this doesn't work or doesn't kill, I'll try and use a spell to heal myself. But it looks like we're good. There we go.
I know what he's talking about.
New armor, but only for Fire Skull, unfortunately. And a snack. So use those. Try and keep that up as best possible so we can keep using it. These chests are also another thing. They require crowns. I actually have some. I'll throw some crowns in just to show you. It can get you certain items. It can be kind of worth it, kind of not, because as you can see right here, you need to be level 10, and for Mist School, I am a Storm, so that I pretty much just wasted my currency. I can use it. I can use it for money. I can sell it later, but for the most part, kind of a waste of money.
I overheard the.
And kind of a waste of literal money is what I should say. Let's teleport. This will bring us a bit closer. That might have been a waste of a teleport, but oh well. Couldn't remember exactly where she is. Oh, is she on the high ledge? Oh, okay.
It's worse than I thought.
You can get to Rave. Use the Return to Commons button to get back to the Commons, and then head to.
Ooh, here we go. Ah, now here's a good one. This one is for Storm School purely, and gives us a plus. I think it said 32. Yeah, plus 32 to health. Looks just the worst, but that's fine. Alright, so now we actually have to go back and talk to our teacher. So, using the Return to Commons works pretty well, because it's right here. You could also return to your home, which is actually right here. But, I think there's a lot of dialogue that goes in when you first enter there, so I'll go there at a later date.
Hello, Wizard. Here.
Okay.
So, you want to do some research, huh? The task at hand is to build one. Go to Lady Oriole and get some copper for the lining.
Wants you to build a Leyden jar. That's kind of neat. A Leyden jar is kind of like the precursor to capacitors, if anyone knows what those are. I don't know how common electronics knowledge is to most people. I have quite the background in it, so I know all that stuff is pretty common knowledge to me, but it'd be kind of interesting to see if most people even know what a capacitor is. If not, you can think of it like a battery. Okay. Alright. So, back up to the high ledge. I should have put a marker down there, but I am not that smart. I don't have that much foresight, apparently. Should be getting close to the end.
You did it, Wizard. Triton Avenue saved.
Yep. Now, I believe that is the end. I think now should be able to fight the Kraken. That might not go over too well. I might lose, but worth a try.
You rescued Susie. Oh.
Okay, nope, I cannot do the Kraken yet. I have to do other side quests, or maybe you come back later. Let's grab all the side quests.
The cave is across the river at the far end of Triton Avenue. Let's go investigate.
Chest. Get some gold out of there. What's going on there? Probably just some cinematic, or not cinematic, environmental stuff they added. Pretty cool. Helps make the world feel a bit more alive. Go turn this in, and I believe that should be it for that quest line.
Triton Avenue's not going to explode? Well,
Yep.
I should hope not.
Alright, so next is either Firecat Alley or Cyclops Lane. But...
Oh, good. Professor Drake sent
Oh!
me another assistant. Hurry, this way. We can talk
Hang
safely
on.
over here.
Am I still a member? Have I been paying for this game for years and not realizing it? I may still be a member. Oh... I don't remember how to check. I suppose it's possible they just made these, made it more available. Okay, I must still be a member, because you definitely could not enter Firecat Alley. Cool, I have apparently been paying for this game. That, or maybe since I've already unlocked them. I'll have to figure that out later. That's a little concerning. Oh, not credits. Well, here's my realm if anyone wants to try to join. I can figure that out later. Next is Cyclops Lane. But I'm gonna call it there. Been going for about an hour now. That's all I really want to aim for in a day. I got other things I need to do. So, thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks everyone for watching the VOD. And, I'll catch you all for day 2 of trying to beat a long game that keeps getting updated. Surprisingly. Alright. Take care.